So, Trevor, we're going to use your guys' outstanding PFF mock draft simulator here on the show for the next week or so to do what we're going to call emergency mock draft. So at any given moment, we might stop the show and be like, all right, let's just see what happens this time and try to play through these scenarios, okay? So let's do that with you right now, if you don't mind.
Okay, sure.
All right, I just did it. Bears, obviously. Ooh, look at that. We even got
graphics.
We got graphics. We got sound. I didn't even know that was coming. Thank you, Steven. So Caleb Williams obviously going number 1. So we're fast forward down to number 9 here. We're not doing a trade up or anything. Joe Alt just came off the board to the Titans. Dallas Turner went to the Falcons at number 8. Those seem like very chalky picks at this point. But Rome Odunze is the top player available according to the PFF mock draft simulator. Brock Bowers is there. Cooper DeJean, Quinyon Mitchell, Leatu Latu. Your guy Johnny Newton's still there. Byron Murphy's still there. Fuaga's still there. What would you do in this situation? Would you look at trading back, too? Because I got a list of, it's telling me 6 teams are interested in the pick, including the Colts at number 15.
Yeah, I mean, I would think about trading back. I really would. I think that Ryan Poles is going to have the phones completely open into all different deals to see what he might be able to get, especially with not a lot of draft picks there. And I don't think they're desperate to move back, but I think that they'll definitely look to do so. It's hard for me to sit here and say, hey, don't take Rome Odunze, right? I mean, if he's on the board, it's so difficult for me to pass up on him like you were talking about a couple of minutes ago, right? The reason why a lot of these teams might trade up is the same reason why you should stand pat and probably take this really dang good football player. So even though a trade down, you can get funky with it and you have a lot of fun, I'd be taking Rome Odunze and be setting up the best wide receiver trio in the NFL, I think, at that point for Caleb Williams to come in and play behind or play with.
This is hypothetically here. I ran the trade through with the Colts.
Okay.
And what it would have taken was you move back to 15. You get 46, which the Bears don't have right now. And you also get 117 in the 4th round. So you add a 2nd and a 4th rounder. To me, though, like to your point, I'm just like, man, Rome Odunze is – I don't know. That's a tough decision, and one that, quite frankly, part of the reason why we're going to be doing this is because that's like something that could very well happen on draft night, where you're like, man, how badly do we want that 2nd round pick versus how much do we want Rome Odunze?
Yeah, it kind of comes down to, you not only have your big board that teams make, but you're going to have the big board broken up into tiers and buckets, right? Where you go, okay, at number 9, these are the players that we're comfortable with. Like, these are the players that we would take at number 9 that we believe are worthy of the number 9 pick. And if none of those guys are still on the board, then you probably trade down, right? I think that's probably a healthy way to operate, is you have anywhere from 4 to 6, maybe 5 to 7 players that you say, we are comfortable with. And look, a couple of those guys, most likely not going to be on the board. Marvin Harrison's going to be in that group. And then the 2 other wide receivers are going to be in that group. Maybe Brock Bowers is, maybe a couple of the offensive tackles. And you think that somebody's going to be left there. But if none of them are there, then that's actually when you start the trade down conversations. Because if not, you got to stick to your board. You got to stick to your evaluations. If they're a blue chip player that you think could really impact the team, stay there and take them. Don't get too cute.
It's interesting real quick, too, with like getting that 2nd round pick, 46. Like, how does Ryan Poles evaluate this entire wide receiver draft class? Because if it is a deep class, and if you can get an impactful player and one of those guys that at 9 are not there, then that's maybe a reason why you're comfortable trading back and selecting a guy later in the draft.
Well, and that's to build on that. Like, I'll give you a scenario here. You can have your A.D. Mitchell at 28. He's there in this fake world. So you're trading out of 9 with Buffalo. You're getting 28. You're getting their 1st rounder next year, and they're throwing in maybe even – let's say one of their 4th rounders this year. So you're gonna get the 28, and the 60, and 128, and next year's 1st. And you get A.D. Mitchell, they get Rome Odunze. Would you do that?
I'd do that. Yeah, Trevor.
I'd still take Rome Odunze. I really would. Again, like you guys know I love A.D. Mitchell, but even A.D. Mitchell is like, there's such a variance of how good he can be. If you tell me that I'm getting the best versions of A.D. Mitchell, sure, of course, I think I'm going to sign up for that trade all day long. But there's a reason why he would probably last until the late 1st round, is because there's been a lot of variance to his play. Even within games, there's been a lot of variance to his play, let alone kind of week to week and year to year. So if you tell me I get the best of him, sure, I'm going to sign up for that all day. I know I'm getting the best of Rome Odunze, right? And sometimes the draft is just that simple. Just go draft a good football player. I think it'd be a little bit different if the class wasn't as good, because at number 9, it's not always a guarantee that you're getting this stud, this guy that you know is going to be fantastic. And if there's any sort of gray area to it, I think you're entertaining moving down. And like you said, maybe having more throws to the dartboard is better than just having a few, but the bullseye is a little bit bigger. In this instance, I'd rather take the big bullseye. And I think Chicago, to be honest with you, at this point, over the last couple of years, they want the bigger bullseye target. And you got to be able to hit it. And that's why I wouldn't have moved off at 9.
We all silly like the mayor.